Hey there, folks. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and look, I really wanted to create a full-blown YouTube video with fancy editing like on this one, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Seeing this kind of engagements, impressions, and 23 views on my YouTube channel, it just hurts a bit to see those kind of numbers, especially given that I pour anywhere from 7 to 10 hours into this type of stuff. So I thought to myself, what about making this as frictionless as possible for myself and not worrying about quality so much until I figure out the distribution problem, which is a perfect transition in today's topic, because today I wanted to do like a more casual breakdown of a very popular nowadays Cluely AI application, which honestly has been the talk of the town lately over the past few weeks, and for good reason. And by the end of the video, my promise to you is that you will also be able to pick up a few lessons for your crypto Web3 startup, both when it comes to product creation as well as marketing. Wow, I just kicked my camera with my fucking... Okay, should be fixed now, no? But before we dive into the growth numbers behind Cluely, we need to understand the moment that changed everything for the founder of the startup. Because realistically, that one decision separated him from every other founder in the space. So this guy, Roy Lee, he transfers into Columbia University, and wanting to start his own company, he finds his co-founder, Neil. They fuck around with a few projects, they don't go anywhere, and then they realize something crucial. The reality is, at that stage, they don't necessarily need a perfect product, but they do need very well thought out distribution strategy. So with this mindset change, Roy and Neil, they decide to build something that they know for a fact has a potential to go viral. And that's exactly how Interview Coder, their first baby, was born. This is essentially an application which lets you to pass interviews for top-tier tech companies. They built out an MVP for this one in 10 days, launched it for free first, and then open source on LinkedIn. And of course, it didn't go viral overnight. It got some views, but Roy really had some balls to do something to a certain degree obnoxious. He uses the whole recruiting season to polish the application and starts to get offers from Meta, TikTok, Capital One. And then when he eventually lands an interview with Amazon, he uses his own application during the interview process, records every single step of it, and posts it online. That was the moment when everything started to blow up. But then Columbia gets a letter, and this is where Roy faces the biggest decision of his professional life. One that most founders probably would never have the guts to make. Columbia sends a Roy a disciplinary notice because apparently an Amazon executive sent the school a letter basically saying, you either expel this kid or we won't ever hire anyone from your uni. And this is where Roy faces this big decision. Stay quiet or go for a battle. The public battle. So Roy leaks the letter. It goes super viral on X and LinkedIn. Quite logically, this whole situation ended in a way that everyone would expect, because Roy just get kicked out of the uni, but he turned it into a content machine that resulted in Interview Coder getting to 1 million in annual revenue in 36 days. Just think about it, how crazy it is. And Roy, admittedly, he says that he was tweaking all throughout the process in his LinkedIn post, but I think it paid off big time for him eventually. Shortly after, building on top of the concept of translucent interface, which can't be traced or seen during the interview process on your calls, they start Cluely. which is undetectable AI that sees your screen, hears your audio, and gives you a real-time assistance in any situation. Not only that, they also hit a 120 million valuation in less than a month and closed a $15 million investing round. If you're curious to hear about the marketing strategy that they used, feel free to check out this thread, which summarizes everything quite concisely, and I don't want to waste anyone's time right now. I just found the story of Roy and Neil quite fascinating, and I think the main lessons that you can extract from it is the fact that you need to be thinking about distribution before you ever touch product part of it. What I found really valuable and interesting is the team structure and Roy's outlook on hiring people. For example, these are the criteria which Roy has for a new employee, which is minimum 100K followers on social media, engineer or influencer, nothing in between, must live in the office, and has viral sense and strong algo pool. And I think it's beautiful. I think crypto projects can find a lot of value from adopting the same hiring framework. The second lesson is the fact that your product does not have to be perfect at the beginning. Because even Interview Coder, it was pretty raw at the beginning, and I read multiple reviews from users saying that it's not the best product, but it did address the pain point and the narrative around it, that you can fuck over the big tech and fool everyone and cheat on your interview and get your dream job using that is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Third lesson is that if you're a crypto founder, you should be probably chronically online, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, or whatever the media channel of your preference is. But you need to understand what is viral. And the final one is that you can always polish your product later down the road. If you did everything right before that, you thought about the distribution before the product, then you can start really focusing on product development, hearing community's feedback, polishing and catering it to the community's preferences. But if you don't have a big enough user base, you can't really research the market and see where is demand and what really people want to see. So yesterday, I think it was the first time when the Cluely team actually showed what you can do with the product, and it was the latest update, so it wasn't previously as comprehensive and as multitasking as of now. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you hopefully next week. Peace.